Alright, so what's up guys? Here's my quick airbrush stand video. It's not all the way complete. As you can see, we still have a few designs to cut and all that, but it's good enough that I could actually walk you guys through it, and this is probably one of the only chances that I'll get to actually walk you through it and make a video about it, so here I am. So a couple things. First off, if the sound quality is not the best, I'm sorry. We lost the microphone. Can't find the microphone that I bought just for these videos, so hopefully it sounds pretty good. If you hear the birds and everything, we're outside obviously, yeah. And then all the stuff I'm going to show you today, I'll try to put as many links to all of it down below. I do appreciate you guys using all those links in the video description. So yeah, those all do help the channel out, as well as if you're interested in some of the designs here, some of the stencils are available on mikesbrush.com. So keep that in mind, and thank you guys for all your orders. With all that said, let me just walk you through here and show you guys the whole stand and kind of everything we have going on, and what it's made out of, what it all is. So yeah. Okay, so first off, we have our nice new tent here, our nice new pop-up, and this is actually an Urmax. Again, I'll put the link down to it below. Yeah, so if you're interested in one of these, it's actually really nice, and it comes with these crossbars right here. So these are super important because you keep people out. See me right here. Oh, I can't go that way. Yep, it's there for a reason, because even if you just have some of these, the kids will try to go around and stuff like that, so this makes it a lot more obvious. And it comes with all three sides lowered and one nice big backdrop, and again, it's really easy to put your designs on here. And yeah, it's actually pretty sturdy. It's really thick steel, and these are all like really nice steel. I marked it off on here on all the corners so I know where to set these. So I leveled them out and then marked it so I know where exactly to mark those. So if you're interested in getting yourself one of these, and this is actually one of the nice ones where it has the nice pole at the top. The only thing I would recommend is at the top of this, get one of those furniture slider things and like tape it or like glue it onto the top of that, and it'll help the top from ripping, because I've seen these rip over time right at that little peak right there. So if you put one of those slider things, it helps it, you know, just kind of slide around instead of grind into that plastic right there. Other than that, I do recommend these work really good. I've used these in the past. They last a long time. Do know when you buy one of these tents, they are like, they're weather resistant. They are not weatherproof. I do usually recommend, you see these weights? I have these weights that I've had for over 10, 12 years now, probably more, 15 years probably. I made these, and I've had these, you see the string? I'll tie these down, or I'll use a bungee, especially on days where I particularly feel like it's gonna be windy and breezy all day long. I'll use a bungee cord and make sure that this is like pulling on the bungee, but that it has a little bit of a sway to it still. Because the fact of the matter is, if the wind wants to bring this tent down, it will bring it down. The goal of these weights is not for it to not go down, it's for it not to go up into the sky, up in a way, which I have actually seen them do. So the purpose of the weights is to actually, if this is gonna break, right, because I've seen these break, they've broken on me, they've hit me on the head because the weather was so bad, whether it was rain, whether it was snow, whether it was wind. The whole point of the weights is to keep the tent from flying away, not from breaking. These do break, and eventually after you use it 100, 200, 300 times, maybe you're gonna have to tighten some of these little bolt things. Keep that in mind. But all in all, that's pretty standard for these. They're not made to last forever. It is a temporary outdoor setup. But as far as they go, this is probably one of the higher quality ones, and I could definitely recommend this one over like the little blue ones that you see at Walmart that are like 60 bucks or whatever. First off, those aren't going to have this. They're not going to include these backdrops that are perfectly fit, and the metal quality is usually a lot worse. And then the one thing that I noticed right away is that it's square all the way to the top, and usually those other ones have a slant leg like this, so it'll be 10 by 10 at the bottom, but then the top is only like 6 foot by 6 foot, so then you'll get around the edge, you'll get hit by the sun. And yeah, anyway, yeah, good quality tent. Make sure if you want to check it out, again, links down below. Now let's get in here and let's walk you around everything that I have in there. Okay, so let's start with the heart of the whole operation. If this is the shell, right, the shell of everything, this would be the motor of the whole operation, right? This is the body, this is the motor, and we need the motor to perform anything. And what I've been using is this Makita Quiet Series, and it says right there MAC 210Q. And this compressor has actually been running with us for a couple of years now. We've been trying to keep it clean, keep it in shape, and so far it has not crapped out on us. I've been using this for quite a few events, long events like 8 hours plus, and so long as I keep the pressure down on this side to about 40 psi, 45 psi, I don't really go any higher than that. I keep it low when I'm actually having airbrush hooked up, and it all works pretty good. Then obviously you're going to need your shirt boards. Now I do have a video on the shirt boards, and it's still relevant till today. I'll make sure to put a link up here in the corner right at this part to the video for the shirt boards, so you can get yourself some of those. The easel here is just a bunch of 2x4s. So you can see here it's 1 2x4, 2 2x4s, 3 2x4s, 4 2x4s, and it's actually 5, 6, 7 more. And then I just chopped it all up to fit here. I will put a link down below to the kind of the schematics of this, so if you want to make yourself one, it's really simple. And then this is just lattice. Again, I'll put a link down to below if you want to get yourself some of this. This stuff's, it works pretty good. It lets the air flow through, so you're not just sitting there. And then also because you want a nice sturdy stand, because again with the wind it'll start doing this, and if the lighter it is, it'll just tip over. So we do like this one. And then it also gives us space on the sides with the lattice to like hang hats and all that good jazz. So we got this. This is pretty much the easel area. This does stay right underneath me, and then I will run an extension cord around. Always make sure you have extension cords of all kinds, and we'll go over that bucket in a second, but always make sure you have extension cords and stuff. So I'll run a cord and I'll run it around the edge, just kind of out of the way of where I'm going to be stepping. So do keep that in mind. The airbrushes, again, for the millionth time, the airbrushes that I use for my t-shirts are these Badger Anthem 155 airbrushes, and some of these here I've had for over 10 years. And then whenever I get a chance, or whenever I see they have a sale, I just go ahead and order myself a few more, and I keep them in shape. And again, I've gone over how you can leave the paint bottles connected, as long as you got an airtight seal from the nozzle to the bottom of the bottle. Your paint should stay pretty wet, but even if it does get a little dry, I use the Createx 4008 cleaner, and sometimes I'll just run that through like before a large event anyway. I'll make sure to get these all cleaned up and running perfect before an event where I expect to use them heavily. But yeah, this is all of those. And then this is our stencil rack. Right, so here we have all the stencils that we need, and all these. So So always make sure you get yourself a bunch of stencils. Again, if you need stencils, I sell a bunch of them, and we're always adding more on mikesbrush.com. Pretty simple stuff. And again, we use the quick disconnect. All these have a quick disconnect. I use one air hose directly on there. I'm probably gonna take this off and get a filter there. It has a filter, I think, behind there. Does it? No. Well, anyway, I'll probably get a filter for this. Usually I have a separate line, like one of those coil lines with a water trap on it, but I'm probably gonna end up switching one to just putting one directly on here, so I don't have to worry so much. And then I might get a moisture trap at the end of the quick disconnect, like one of those fisheye filters for this. Probably work perfect. And then we have our press, and again, I'll put a link down in the description below. We've had this press for a few years now, maybe a little bit longer. We've had this actually for a while. I'm not quite sure. I want to say at least a few years. And it works all pretty good. This one has a timer on it, and you can set the timer, and it beeps when it's done. You just come and you lift it, you take the shirt off, fold it, put it in a bag. Speaking of bags, this is our box of bags right here. Always make sure you have a ton of bags, as you can see in there. We just have a ton of plastic bags. It's kind of starting to go out of style to have bags, but I still like it for when people don't have a way of carrying it. A lot of people nowadays will carry their own like bags or a cart or something like that, so don't always have to worry. Then right underneath the main table, again, also the tables, make sure you always bring some tables. We got that one, we got this one, and I actually have a couple others that we have folded away, but just in case we need them, we will pop them out. Always have a clean table. So this is our clean table for like folding the shirts, for having the stuff going on. The business happens on the clean table, right? The nice white table. And then you want to have a couple of what I would call, dirt tables or brown tables, just in case maybe you get something you have to use the table to paint on. You could just quickly paint on that, and you don't have to worry about getting paint everywhere. It'll happen. Somebody will bring a helmet or something like that, and it'll just be easier to just paint it on a flat surface. The easel doesn't work for everything, so you do that. Then right underneath there, unlatch it. And here we have all our t-shirts and hats. So we have hats, and then we have adults small through extra large, and kids small through extra large. And then we have a few black shirts that we don't try to promote too much on the black, but once in a while we'll get somebody who walks up and asks, for a black shirt. And then up here, we have our, example book with previous work that we've done. And that one's all on automotive. This one's all kind of mainly t-shirts. And yeah, we do try to keep an eye on these because people have ran off on these before. So yeah, we try to keep one of these handy. Has our Venmo, our Instagram Venmo, so that when people ask, hey, are you on social media, boom, follow us. Hey, how do I pay? We accept cash, card, or boom, you could Venmo us right there. Super easy. Oh, and then this right here, as far as putting these designs on, right, you get the paint on, and you're going to want to put it on there. I would recommend the 3M High Strength 90, the contact adhesive. It's moisture and heat resistant, as you can see right there, and it sprays out a nice web, a nice thick web. And this one bottle put all those designs up, and half the bottle's probably still in there, so I could probably get a whole nother row in before we need to get another bottle of this. So I highly recommend this stuff. Again, I'll put a link down below. And this stuff is super strong. Like, those designs are on there good. I'm pretty sure if I try to take some of these off of there, they would rip. So if I ever have to change some of these out, I'll probably just stick the other design right over that one, because I'm not sure if I could get those off. But yeah, other than that, this works super good, exactly like how you would want it to work. It would work. So a few things you'd want to keep in mind. All that being said, again, we have a little money box, cash box. This is what I would recommend now, there was a time when I would recommend a register and like having all this stuff, but we'll just keep that down there somewhere, like way out of reach, like over here or something. Nowadays, most of the payments come in this way or on the card anyway. Like a lot of people, it's less and less I'm seeing cash. Is kind of what I'm going to say. So we do keep some change, 1s and 5s and a few 10s. Other than that, you know, we don't keep a whole lot. You hit us up at the beginning of the day with 100, we're going to be like, sorry man, we didn't got it. You could pay us this way, right? But other than that, like if you come with a 20 or something like that, you know, and you order a $15 shirt, yeah, here's your $5. You know, it's always just convenient. Make sure you have some change. Other things to note, this, see how this caution sign is here? This, we have it a little bit separated from here. This press, it does get hot. We don't want kids reaching in and being able to grab it. Adults can see it, so most adults aren't going to try to touch anything up here, but kids, definitely just try to keep it out of reach. You know, at least a foot, 2 feet, because they have to reach over and then get over here. Just make sure you keep yourself safe and keep the people around you safe. It has to stay open obviously when it's on, but always keep that in mind. The box here, the last box that we haven't gone through, just things to keep in mind that you might need. So certain places you might go, they don't want you to get stuff on the floor, right? They might have a fancy floor. Always make sure you have a spray out bottle or a spill bottle or a mess bottle or a brown bottle. I've heard these be called whatever the hell you called, a rinse bottle. Make sure you always have one of these handy just in case you're somewhere where you can't get the floor dirty. You could spray off in there. Always have a couple canvas drop cloths, a couple of rags, so we keep this blue shirt's dirty, this gray shirt's dirty, so we keep those rags. Then again, we got another spray out bottle just in case. We got another easel just in case maybe we want to display some artwork or something like that. We use that. Extension cord. We got another hose with a quick disconnect just in case something happens to the other one. We got a filter. This is just in case we open one of these and we find it's lumpy or something like that. We'll run it through the filter real quick, and that'll save us. We have all our spare paint in here. Make sure you have spare paint for all your colors that we use. And these bottles look small in here, but this bottle right here is actually a 32 ounce, and those are 16 ounce bottles right here for all our colors. And that lasts us a few events. Sometimes we order them in between events and stuff like that, but as we see if it's getting halfway on this bottle, we need to order one, and that's usually how it goes. By the time the new one gets here, you know, then we just put the new one in here and the old one's kind of going out. And yeah. That's pretty much it. And this hat here is just a hat that I messed up at one of the places. See, this is supposed to be a P and I messed that up. So yeah, get that hat out of here. Don't see that we don't talk about that hat. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much what's in that bucket. So we got 3 buckets. We got the 2 tables, compressor, boards, easel, airbrushes. Also this stand here, I don't have this exact stand for sale yet, but I do have a 10 one that holds 10 airbrushes already available on the mikesbrush.com. So if you're interested in a stand like this, if you're interested with one with more, I can custom make you one. Just hit me up with an email, and if you're really interested, we can definitely make you one. No problem. So yeah, other than that, as you can see, I have some work to do. I need a lot more paint on. I have a lot more paint on cut in the shop there, so I just need to go and get that and start painting up some designs. Gonna try to fill this in and get to work. But yeah, I've had a few people over the years, more than a few people, ask, you know, how do you get your airbrush stand ready? What do you use? What do you have? What does it look like? You know, and not everybody's local. You know, a lot of people, I just say, well, come on out to the stand and check it out, you know, hang out for a day or whatever. Not all of you can come hang out, and this is probably the only chance I could actually make a video about it, because once you're out somewhere, there's usually music and people and it's going fast. And the music itself kills the video right away, because I can't have any music in my videos because of the copyright shit or whatever. So that happens, and then, you know, I can't make a video on it. So I just, while I was setting it up, while I was getting it all ready and we have everything going, you know, I just wanted to set it up and show you guys everything. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Again, extension cords, that's probably the only thing I'm leaving out, right? I showed that one in there, and then I have that little one there. Make sure you get a couple of like power strips, and then make sure the extension cords that you get are like the heavy duty, heavy gauge extension cords. You're gonna want to cheap out, because the cheap ones are gonna be like less than half the price. They're gonna be super cheap, right? But then you're gonna want to run it 100 feet, and then when you come and turn on your compressor, it's gonna be all, and then you can hook up the press, and then that breaker at the end of the extension cord is gonna jump, and you're gonna have a bad night. Make sure you get heavy duty gauge extension cords. It helps a lot. It'll make your night a lot smoother and nicer. You won't ever have any power issues. Your extension cord won't get hot, because that's something that can happen. Keep that in mind. Your compressor, make sure you keep it somewhere where it can get nice open air. Don't let it get hot. Don't run the pressure too high on something like this, because you will burn it out. It'll end your day. Yeah, pretty much it. That's pretty much it at this point. I don't know what else I got. Make sure you get, you know, one weight there, one weight there. We usually, the back of it, usually we have our vehicle in the back, so we tie the back down to the vehicle, bungee it, make sure it has a little bit of flex. It'll give, because it might move, it might go a little bit like this, but it's not going to fly away, and that's the important part. If it wanted to fly away, or if anything, it's going to break anyway, regardless of what you do. So it's more of a safety thing than like a insurance or whatever, right? So anyway, guys, I hope this video helps you guys out. Please use all the links down below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later, everybody.